So again, I'll be coming back to the question that one, why is it important at the workplace, and how can organizations move from some to a from all concept steadily?
So, Ananya, I think some of my answer in the last about how can organizations move to it, I think the answer lies in, I genuinely believe it is about the topmost leader, because you're watching the topmost leader, it becomes a business item, and then agenda, and then that's how it needs to be looked at, and it will work. I think we need to understand a little bit about, I was doing some reading, and that's why it was interesting. In organizations especially, bias on the ground happens in different ways. There are 5 types of ways that it actually happens. So I think this is what organizations probably need to look at to ensure that it does not happen. It's borders on unconscious bias, but I think it's happening, as we speak. And I think so, other than this, one way of doing it, to your answer, is of course the CEO making it a business agenda. The other way is, to even understand what are all these biases. So for example, typically for some people in an organization, okay, now this could be anywhere globally I'm talking about, because whether it's race, gender, LGBTQ, age, disability, sometimes even social class, this actually happens to different types of people. So one is prove it again. Sadly, there are many people in an organization, they just have to prove it again. So you could do something right, but you'll have to do it again and again and again, unlike what we are used to, a standard person who would do it, and you'll be like, wow, that's amazing, this person met the sales target. Now think about it, if there was somebody in the example that I gave you, because of our biases, was to on race or gender or age do it, you'd just be like, oh, maybe this was one time, let's see if they can do it again. So this prove it again bias is sort of inherent in organizations.
Okay.
The second is the tightrope. What that means is that if men, again, largely show that they are, authoritative, you're like, wow, what a leader, right? Walking the tightrope. But the same thing if women were to do it. The first thing people would be like, oh, this person is so bossy, right? So you almost, you start. So that's the thing. So you look at it differently, and again, it's the bias, right? So these are things that organizations need to train people on. And of course, the third one is interesting. It's called the tug of war, which is, now there is a tug of war between, like, if I'm one woman, and up for that one position, and they are saying that there is a seat on the table only for a woman to come in, to this particular, say, panel or board. I'm now going to be having this tug of war with other women, right? Because and the same thing with race or people of color or whatever, they'd be doing it with the similar kind. The fourth one is what we all see. It is called the maternal wall. And this is to do with, women who actually come back, and mothers who feel that they need to prove that they need to do more. So it's also about themselves, but also the organization should be thinking about making it much more easier, because they are constantly otherwise in this thing about they have to prove, they have to do this better. They are seamless transition. And now the fifth one is just racial stereotypes. Now we could be in India, but to some extent, where we're saying we're north, we're south, we're east, we're west, whatever, just comes. No, it's not. We don't even mean it. So, and we sometimes bring that kind of stereotyping as well into work. So there is so much we all need to work on. It's not only as organizations but as individuals as well. That's how I would look at it, Ananya. It's a combination. If we are all looking at this globalized world, right, then we've all got to drop our armor some more.